MC talks, yeah, we run that news. Celeb drops hot, we bring those views. Lights my edges, spill that tea. It's MC talks for the stars gon' be. Talks, 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 talks.
I want to move to this next topic. Nicki Minaj's lawyer wasn't fired. So the U.S. Weekly had basically published an article. I'm gonna break it down real quickly. They basically published an article saying that Nicki's lawyer, a longtime lawyer, abandoned her with a 10 million lawsuit on her head, and basically, what I'm saying, the source debunked that because the U.S. Weekly was trying to make it seem like Nicki Minaj was basically hard to work with. Her lawyer abandoned her with this $10 million lawsuit, and she didn't have, other sources of legal advisory or legal attorney to help her out during this case, which was false. So I'm gonna read the caption to y'all. And by the way, y'all see underscore MC Talks underscore. Make sure y'all go and check out my Instagram and follow that page. But anyway, so the source debunks U.S. Weekly claims that Nicki Minaj, longtime lawyer, dropped her and left her with a $10 million lawsuit. Now, according to the source, the claim came from U.S. Weekly, created a false narrative painting Minaj as problematic and suggesting her career was at risk. The rapper successfully defeated Tamar Peets in an attempt to obtain a default judgment in a lawsuit filed in New York federal court. The obsessed fan argued that Minaj willfully ignored the lawsuit and therefore subjected to a default judgment ruling. The court found otherwise. So Nicki Minaj basically won. I mean, not won, but she basically was able to find another attorney to help her out. So her lawyer had to drop this case because the um, the plaintiff, which is suing Nicki, basically moved the court to a federal court in New York. And so he couldn't basically, help her out there. So he had to drop the case, but she had another legal team pick up her case and help her through that. And actually she won because I think the court had just threw out the whole thing, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, so I don't think that this guy gonna be bothering Nicki too much, and plus he have to pay for her legal fees and everything else, and I can imagine that's in the thousands of dollars, right? This guy has basically been stalking Nicki, harassing her. You got some crazed out fans that just go through hell to get to these celebrities to make their life a living hell. It's like it's a totally different obsession, if you know what I mean. It's just weird. If you a fan or you favorite, you know what I'm saying, or you're a fan of somebody, you ain't gonna really put somebody that you fanned out through a court case, a $10 million at that. So he was also trying to shake her down. And of course, Nicki wasn't going to let up, and what I'm saying, she was going to fight. And of course, she wouldn't, what I'm saying, her lawyer that's been working with her for many years wouldn't just drop her without giving her or, what I'm saying, giving her an, how would you say it? Like an information to get another lawyer or attorney to basically take over the case. So I'm sure that what I'm saying, he had strings to pull to help her get another attorney to see over the case. So that's what I think. He didn't leave her high and dry. He also clarified that. So yeah, so that right there made news. And I want to say this: the reason why U.S. Weekly basically did what they did is because Nicki been in the headlines lately, and some of the headlines hasn't been good. So we know that the industry is not really favoring Nicki right now, and most of these articles and these powerful blogs and these powerful news outlets, they gonna tried their best to turn the story, manipulate the story, make the story seem as is like Nicki is hard to work with and everything else because recently Nicki been online, she been feuding with Cardi B. Um, she also been, Team MAGA lately. Trump, a lot of people don't find that, really appeased by that. You know what I'm saying? And she just, she stayed on Twitter and she stayed, saying things that's a little bit of controversy. She done got into it with SZA. A lot of these things make rounds. So when you got like outlets like the U.S. Weekly, they are going to try to manipulate the story, make the story seem negative, make Nicki seem like she is hard to work with, simply because she's been in a lot of drama with other celebs and music artists and just been very controversial lately. So that's my thought on that. So now